Blackmore.
He's done. I think he's done. That's it. It will be the stun. He's going to store up. He's going to finish the combo. And ladies and gentlemen, $1 million is going to be awarded to Uma. Nobody had him on the cards to take the cup. He's represented with jury. He's represented Taiwan. And he will be your first $1 million champion for Street Fighter 6 here at Capcom Cup 10.
And now we have our Capcom Cup 10 champion, Uma!
Before all the lights, the sponsorships, that sweet six-figure prize pool from Capcom Pro Tour, the fighting game community is a raw, passionate movement powered by love for the game, not love for the paycheck. So, how do we get from the underground arcades to global circuits like the Capcom Pro Tour, Tekken World Tour, and the ARC World Tour? Well, we're going to have to go back to the humble beginnings. So, back in the early 2000s, before esports was a buzzword and before Twitch made gaming a global thing to stream, fighting games were a grassroots hustle. We're talking hotel ballrooms, community centers, basements, arcades, hell, even the bathrooms for multi-blood tournaments. The birthplace of legends, players traveled across the country, sometimes sleeping on couches, carpooling with barely enough gas money, just for the chance to test their skills. The early majors like B5, aka Battle for the Bay, aka Evo, was run by fans for fans. There was no official circuit, no company funding your flights. The prize was pride, maybe a trophy, maybe some piece of money if you were lucky, but that raw energy, that fire, is what made the FGC so special. In the mid-2000s, as the esports world started shaping itself, other scenes like Halo and StarCraft began getting structured leagues like through Major League Gaming and World Cyber Games. And for a brief moment, the FGC tried to step into that world too. MLG experimented with Taken 6 and Soul Calibur 2. World Cyber Games had a strong fighting game presence with Dead or Alive 4.
He's the player with foot in opponent's mouth disease. Carl, perfect legend!
Offering the FGC a taste of what global corporate competition could look like. But it didn't quite click just yet. The FGC was, and still is, fiercely independent. The structure and sponsorships were cool, but many players felt these big esports orgs didn't understand the soul of the community.
Did so many things that made me angry. So, the dumb MLG rule, basically, if you guys fought each other in winner side, and let's say I won 3-1 against you, so you get sent to the loser side, and let's say you make it all the way back to grand finals, you keep the 3-1 record, and you play, like, from there. Like, they make it so that grand finals, there's no bracket reset. It's just that you need to win now. Instead of 3 games, you need to win 6 games. And you already start at the 3 and the other guy starts at the 1 and they gotta catch up like that. From a logistics standpoint, you're like, okay, I get it, because like, why not keep their record here? But again, the reason why we don't do that is because it don't matter how badly I beat you. When you put up the quarter the next time, we start at 0-0. Again, it's a very arcade culture thing.
So we went back to doing what we do best, running it ourselves. Then in 2013, everything changed. Capcom officially announced the Capcom Pro Tour, culminating in the Capcom Cup, a world championship for Street Fighter players, backed by the developers themselves. For the first time, the FGC had an official circuit, global ranking points, structured events, sponsorship visibility, and real prize money. That $50,000 prize pool at the first Capcom Cup felt massive at the time, but that was just the start. Over the years, it grew and grew through the Street Fighter V era into a 6-figure showdown with Street Fighter 6 currently. showcasing world-class players from every corner of the planet. The success of Capcom's model opened the floodgates. Soon after, we saw the Tekken World Tour, the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour, the Mortal Kombat Pro competition, Arc World Tour, and many more out there, each bringing their own unique flavor and culture to the pro circuit model. But while the global spotlight was bright, one of the most beautiful things to emerge during the pre-pandemic era was Red Bull Conquest and Proving Grounds. This wasn't just another event, it was a bridge. A circuit that led local scenes across North America and beyond compete regionally, earn points, and send their best players to the finals. It gave players from smaller communities, folks who couldn't always travel to majors, a chance to shine. You'd see new faces from places like Texas, Toronto, Philadelphia, and many other places making noise, breaking through the ranks, and proving that talent existed far beyond the coast. It gave the FGC what it always needed, a spotlight on the grassroots. Proving Grounds became a pop line for future stars, a playground for rivalries, and a community celebration that reminded us the FGC started local. It should always stay local at heart. Every now and then, I still often think about that time period of the FGC where it was so rooted in preserving grassroots while showcasing new and hidden talent and players out there. I still keep all of these videos in the YouTube playlist, so if you ever want to take a look back in time at the Red Bull Proving Grounds and Conquest, it'll be in the description. These circuits brought undeniable benefits to the scene. First off, visibility. Fighting games weren't just that niche thing you caught on YouTube anymore. They were broadcast globally, featured on major esports stages, even ESPN for a little while. Prize pools grew slowly. Some games even had crowdfunding DLC where the money would go towards prize pools for circuit finals like Capcom during the Street Fighter V era, Mortal Kombat X through the Sub-Zero Blue Steel skin, and Killer Instinct with Shadow Jago helping to fund the Killer Instinct World Cup as well. We also saw the birth of regional rivalries and global talent explosions everywhere. No longer was it just Japan versus the US. Now we had powerhouses from the Dominican Republic, Pakistan, France, Singapore, and beyond. But it wasn't all perfect. With structure comes restrictions. Some players and organizers felt boxed in by the rules of official circuits, certain tournaments not counting towards points, or grassroots events losing relevance because they weren't premier status. It created a bit of a divide, the corporate circuit versus the community scene. And with prize pools came pressure. Suddenly, players weren't just playing for pride. They were playing for contracts, brand deals, and livelihoods if they wanted to take it to that level. That old school fun sometimes get overshadowed by the weight of professionalism. Then there's the inequality of exposure. Not every game gets a world tour that continues to survive for years to come. Some amazing titles like Killer Instinct have gone through ups and downs trying to maintain visibility when official support dries up. But the community continues to push the game into the new age, even if Microsoft never gives us a new Killer Instinct title. Now, let's talk about one of the most headline-making events for the past couple of years, the Esports World Cup, aka EWC. The positives? Big money, and it's on a global scale. The EWC brought in huge prize pools and mainstream attention, giving fighting game titles like Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves for the first time in decades a platform at the world stage level. It proved that fighting games could stand shoulder to shoulder with FPS and MOBA giants. But the negatives, they hit pretty hard. Many players voiced discomfort with competing under the EWC banner due to ethnical and representation concerns. all of that means the EWC sits in this strange space. It can raise the spotlight, but also risk alienating the grassroots spirits that FGC was built on. It's the eternal balance, keeping the FGC soul alive while still growing with the times. I'm not going to be showing any footage towards EWC after seeing some content creators like Buttoncheck and a few others get their videos flagged, in case you're wondering why there's like just no footage of EWC. But at the end of the day, many of these pro circuits did something powerful. They gave the FGC structure without erasing its identity entirely. Capcom Cup and the tours that followed turned passion into a possibility. They provided a ladder for new players to climb, a reason for countries to build local communities, and a dream for every player grinding late nights at locals that maybe, just maybe, they could stand on that global stage too. And beyond the prize money, beyond the sponsorships, what these circuits really gave us was representation. A spotlight showing the world that fighting games aren't just games, they're a culture. A universal language of competition, respect, and artistry. So whether you're still at your local or aiming for the Capcom Cup stage, remember, this community built itself from nothing. And now, we're everywhere. So be proud of yourself. Be proud of your local scene. We've come a long way. We still have some growing to do. These are the teenage years now for us when it comes towards esports. I feel we've stepped far away from the kiddie pool. All we can do from this point forward, keep preserving our scene and let these circuits grow while not losing our culture. If you enjoyed today's video, please give a like, subscribe, and be sure to hit that bell to always stay updated on new videos. The 36 Chambers Discord community will always be in the description too, so come by, chit chat, say what's up, hang out with some of the community members. This is Blackmore here, signing out. I'll catch you next time. Peace, y'all.
The study of Kung Fu fighting is ongoing. Don't ever hope to master all of them. So be careful.